I used to be an organizer. I worked for this organization called the Indigenous Environmental Network. And the first campaign I fought on was against the Keystone XL Pipeline, which is a massive tar sands pipeline. It was under the Obama administration. And we fought against that sucker for fucking 10, 12 years. And we ultimately won. It's a campaign that we can celebrate. People don't know about. We fought a multi-billion-dollar corporation. We went against the president on this. And it was a hard earned win. And one way we went about it is that we actually had to organize with deep Republican landowners in Nebraska and South Dakota on this issue, and it
And
worked.
what did they connect with you on? What did you agree?
We
on?
connected on water, the essence and the essential need for clean water, and we went on and saying, hey, look, they're building this pipeline. If it bursts, all that water you need for your livestock, the water you need for your agriculture, all that stuff, it's gone. Like it's and that worried them. The other one was eminent domain because they were using eminent domain, and nothing gets Republican conservatives like ready to fight. It's like, oh, you're going to take my land.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which coming from a native, we're like, they're going to take your land. They're like, oh fuck, they're going to take our land just like they took yours. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And it gets them riled up, and that was the angle of like, and one of the strategies was like, they're going to do to you what they did to us. It's like very nuanced. That's really kind of a
was there any
take on
pushback
it.
inside of the movement of like were there any notable Republicans that you had to like team up with that liberals would go like?
No, that's the other thing is it was all grassroots. It was all local organizing. We didn't fixate on getting congressional leaders. Like, I mean, there was that whole strategy, but it was really the Democrats that led us through it, kind of helped pave the way. But it was all grassroots, getting local Nebraskans and like white landowners. And the beautiful part about this is that they started out, I straight up met Western Nebraska rancher, like the reddest of red, guys who were like, talked about guns and didn't like the gays and didn't all this stuff, and working with them for like 3 years on a common issue. Like, let's just focus on the water. And then we snuck in like indigenous rights into it. Because our talking points never changed. It's not just the issue of protecting the water; it's also upholding indigenous rights. We have a right to protect, to self-determine what happens to our water, our air, our bodies, and you have to respect indigenous rights. You have to respect treaty rights. We have history of treaties with the United States government that have to be upheld. And over time, these white guys, these conservatives who are like, yeah, I don't want eminent domain taking my land. And you should respect their rights. These tribes have been through so much. Understand that. And it was like, oh shit. And they started adopting our talking points. And it kind of went for, they kept going with it. We're like, and you know what? A lot of their people a lot of women, indigenous women are going missing and being murdered at increasing rates. You guys should look into that. And it was like, we built a house.
Yeah.
We built a house and we're trying to get people to come in, and we're like, on the house, we're like, water rights. It's an issue that all of us can agree on, is everyone should have clean water. And you get them into the house, and then when they get in the house, you notice that the walls are upheld with like indigenous sovereignty and like, treaty rights and all these other issues. And you kind of like, you hide the medicine.
Yeah. Sure. It's just so hard. Then you open one room and it's like, gay people shouldn't get married. And you're like, let's keep this door closed for now. Build the rest of the house. Then we'll renovate that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's the struggle of it all.
We'll work to the basement. We'll work onto the foundation stuff. But I mean, it's flawed. It wasn't perfect, but we won that campaign because we actually had to do deep organizing with folks who we may not agree with, but there was commonality, and there was a class consciousness approach to it as well. Like, hey, we're just common people, like the rest of us. Like everyone, we're all just common people trying to get by.
Yeah,
I think that's the problem. That's the problem is that the Democratic Party, like, they can't. The leadership is too rich and relies on the rich too much to lean into the only winning shift of strategy, which is class consciousness.
Yeah, did you see
do that?
Yeah, did you feel? It's interesting, like your journey, like with Obama getting elected and then doing this. Like, I feel like it's a weird blind spot for a lot of people in the.
A lot of people. Obama was just
still, like,
everything
you
was
still
great.
Say his name,
that was good.
And
this was bad.
And
that
it's
was
like,
good.
oh, he under Obama, blah blah, and you're like, it is this thing of like people have a blind spot for that, and some of these things, you know, are drones, are like the NSA, the pipeline.
Well, I feel like there's a whole section of us, of this movement, who like are under no illusions that America does some fucked up shit no matter who's in the White House.
Yeah.
Sure.
And has done fucked up shit. And that the Obama, there was a lot of fucked up shit that happened. And I think that what Trump is doing is just exposing what America truly is, whether Democrats try to paint it or not, is just it's a imperialist bully.
Yeah.
Like all he's doing is pulling the levers that have always been there.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
He's just saying like all this strong arming other countries.
Yeah.
Democrats could have done that. They could do it. They've done it in many ways. It's always been there. The threat is always there.
Sure.
Is that he's just using the tool. But even if you had a Democrat in the office, they're still going to pull that lever in some other more subtle way. So that's the challenge, is like, hey, we are looking at a systems change that needs to happen. And so, yeah, that's always been my take on it. I'm like, doesn't matter who's in the office. I know that we have there's still a long ways to go.
Yeah.
Do you feel cynical right now?
Oh yeah, dude, I got burnt out so bad. That's why I gave up the organizing. I just couldn't take it. I got so burnt out.
Yeah.
I had to go into writing. Like I had to go into writing. I had to go into performance. That was my outlet. I was doing sketch comedy, improv while doing all the organizing work, and that was my outlet. That's how I fucking stayed sane. But 2020 hit, and I just got overwhelmed. And I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my downside.
You're listening to The Downside
The Downside.
with Gianmarco Soresi.